Welcome
Welcome Jet Lag.
to the Jet Lag Podcast.
Yeah.
We got a 12-hour time difference here. It is 11:39 in both places.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's fun. Jacob, how's the future?
Oh, excuse me. You know what's funny? See, I've been to Thailand before,
Yeah.
so it's like I'm going back to the future.
To the future. Yes.
All right. I love that soundtrack. I didn't know that I loved
Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah, Huey Lewis and the News. Huey Lewis and the News.
Look, Sports
So
is a great album. Sports is like hit factory.
is it sports exclamation point? I feel like that's what it is.
I don't think so. I think it's just Sports.
Sports.
What?
Oh, okay.
What an idea for an album title. You know what I mean? Just, what if we call it Sports?
Sports. Stuff I like.
Yeah.
Comics.
Now I need to
Music.
look to see if there's any. Is there like a song? Is there
Film.
like a baseball song?
Right. Is it? Yeah.
Heart of Rock and Roll.
Soccer.
Heart of Rock
American
and Roll,
football.
followed by Heart and Soul. So you got two songs back to back that start the album with heart in the title, and you call the album Sports?
Right. Yeah. Well, the last song on the album, I believe, is Women's Volleyball.
Nope.
No.
Bad is bad. I want a new drug. Want a new drug. One
Yeah.
time is it. Walking
It
on
has
it in
to be
line.
some kind of
Finally found a
ironic.
home. If this is it. And then you
Right.
crack me up. So you got
Like,
four
how-
bona fide hits on a
How-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 song album. That's half. That's Jagged Little Pill good from a percentage standpoint.
Yeah. How rich did he get from sports?
Don't know.
I wonder if it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, what are DJs into? Sports. That's why they play records instead of actual music. I don't know. That's a shit thing to say.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's it's late here. It's jet
Yeah,
lag.
look,
It's
you went to bed / didn't go to bed. Still on that adjustment period.
yeah.
This is going to be a wild card.
Yeah. There's no telling. I could be mumbling the entire time. It's entirely possible.
We're going to look back on this one. It's going to be great.
It'll be this is the best. This is the best podcast.
This is
ever
the Jacob's tired.
So
Wow.
last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we
Yeah.
talked about Dune,
Dude, yes.
and we really didn't get in depth with all the things.
Yeah, we did a real kind of general vibes on Dune. We didn't get into the weeds. We didn't get into the details. So we decided it was time to rewatch Dune and do a part 2. This is that part 2. However, after 30 days, HBO Max took Dune off the air so that now it can go to like purchasing streaming services all over. If you're, with your cable package, you can click that new release, pay that, $19.99. You can watch Dune, and we can't watch it for free anymore. Therefore,
Yeah, for $19.99, I could eat for a week here. So
right,
it's hard to justify that.
it's hard. It's difficult.
It's very hard.
Yeah. So that being said, neither of us rewatched Dune.
Right.
Correct.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Subscribed for Dune
Part
Part
3.
3.
Part 3. This is Dune Part 2. Let me explain that we didn't rewatch Dune.
That we didn't do a Dune Part 2.
We did not
Yeah.
do our Dune diligence.
Dune.
Put that on a t-shirt. That's our next t-shirt.
Thanks for listening to the worst podcast ever.
Hey, you're listening to
Yeah.
Jacob and Ben Got Puns.
Dad jokes forever. We
Dad
should
jokes.
change the name of it. Yeah.
So with that being said, we're actually going to talk about Venom
Right.
Part 2. This is part 1 of our Venom Part 2. Let There Be Carnage. This is a movie that came out. I watched it this week.
Yeah, this is a movie that I told you not to watch. You said, should I watch Venom or James Bond? And I said, James Bond. And then you went and you watched Venom.
Here's the thing, though. Wife and I were looking for something to watch. And it was like, we could watch this serious Bond movie, or we could watch Big Dumb Fun with Venom, where there are no consequences. And we went with zero consequences.
Right.
Plus, this movie has Michelle Williams, who's awesome. Naomi Harris. She's actually in both movies, so it doesn't really count.
Oh, right.
She plays
the
Drake,
first one?
but she's also in the Bond movie. She's Moneypenny.
Right. Oh, she looks so different.
Right. She didn't have that fucked up eye.
Yeah, it's the blue eye that threw me off.
Yeah. And her accent in this movie, like, it's that whispery kind of voice. Her voice in this movie is...
Yeah.
It was a choice.
Yeah,
It was a choice.
It reminds me of that villain in that movie where the villain made no sense. Oh, wait, Venom 2.
Venom 2. That's the one.
No, you know what I'm talking about. The one where it was like, it was a DC movie where it was just this weird.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. The first one.
She
Oh,
was
yeah.
all gyrating and whatnot. Big machine. Like doing a belly dance.
Yeah, it was that. It's not the same actress.
No.
I mean, maybe that's what the blue eye does for me, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got that hell of a view.
Yeah, I kind of.
What's the Postmates situation there? Can you order something?
Yeah, they have something called Panda something or another.
Express.
They can deliver. But we did a lot of research before we bought this hotel. And one of the main reasons was the food, like the food reviews.
Cool.
Oh my God. I've been tearing up the food. It's so good. Like every meal is great. Fresh fruit. It's so amazing.
Nice. All right, let's jump back in. You got to go.
Was there a podcast happening? No, I don't have to go. I'm wide awake. I just drank coffee. I'll be up for a while. I just drank coffee. Yeah. What we're talking about?
Venom 2.
Yeah, sure. Venom 2.
So, Venom 2, first thoughts. Go.
What
was your initial reaction? What's your first thought?
I didn't remember. Okay, so I saw Venom 1, obviously, but I don't remember it trying to be so funny. Like, I remember it being the super serious movie with like maybe an occasional gaffe.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, I felt like it was just trying to be funny. Like, let's put as many monster jokes as possible in here. And it like did not land with me at all. And I was like, what am I watching right now? Like the entire time. I felt like I wasn't watching the same series, even though it was the same.
Right.
You?
Agree that I feel like somebody watched the first movie and then said, oh, you know what? People really dig the banter between Venom and Eddie. So let's just focus in on that. And Apartment. It felt like The Odd Couple TV show, only instead of sharing an apartment, they were sharing a body. And then outside of that, it was just kind of like, oh, right. And then there's a villain and there's other things going on. But really, like, the main thing was that you could tell, like, the thing that they were excited about in the room was the dynamic between Venom and Eddie. And everything else is just kind of like, whatever. I thought Woody Harrelson was the absolute wrong person to play Carnage.
Yes.
You know, I think when I think of Carnage, I think of like a rage monster, not like, you know, creepy weirdo, you know, who just wants a friend. That was like that.
Yeah, I just want to be married.
I just want to have a friend. Fuck that. And Woody Harrelson's way too old to play that character. Like, when they do the flashback at the very beginning of the movie, they're like 1996. And Woody Harrelson is like
12.
He's like 15, 16, 18 tops. and him and the girl are at the insane people hospital. And guess how old Woody Harrelson was in 1996?
I'm gonna go with 34.
35.
Oh, I was
35.
So close.
So by that point in 96, he's already made White Men Can't Jump. He's been on Cheers for like 4 or 5 years.
Forever. Yeah.
Gosh, Money Train? Did he even make Money Train by then? What? Natural Born Killers has probably already happened by 96.
Yeah.
Like, nah. So, like, 96 Woody Harrelson would have been a great Carnage. Like Natural Born Killers, Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
Would have been fantastic.
That one works. Yeah.
Would
like creepy old man, goopy guy.
Right. Now I see him as like, the dude from like the magician from Now You Can See Me Too,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that part of the other problem was go to that next picture. No, that one.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a picture from him from the teaser from the first movie. And he's got this perm situation.
Right.
And so that makes me think of that Now You Can See Me Too character that he played, which is like just the goofy brother. And it just took me out of it. It wasn't believable. Not that there's like a huge age difference between Naomi Harris and him, but it's significant enough for me to be like, nah, I don't believe this too much.
Yeah, none of it worked for me. The CG stuff like didn't work. I don't know. I just didn't feel like the comic. I mean, I read some of the comics, when I was a kid, and the way he looked just didn't feel like that for some reason. And I don't know exactly what that is, but it felt off. Like all the animation and stuff just felt off to me.
I mean, like when he was in Carnage form, I was like a little bit more on board. But even then, like something about Carnage, like I guess my entry point was like cartoons and video games. Is like I didn't really read a whole lot of the comics, but cartoons and video games, like I feel like I have a pretty decent view on Carnage's character. And, kind of this like Carnage is supposed to be like a full blown like monster, like almost indecipherable. At least that's what my version of the character was, given video games and comic books or cartoons.
Don't get me wrong. Like this looks awesome. Yeah.
It looks great.
It looks awesome. But I mean, for some reason, I thought he was more like goo.
Yeah. Like a little bit more like fluid.
Fluidy. Yeah. Like fluid, liquidy. Yeah. And in this, he's like just gross,
Also, Carnage becomes like fully formed just by like ingesting the tiniest amount of blood.
That's the smallest amount. Yeah. The smallest amount.
And
also,
like we never see that like grow into like this like larger form. It just kind of happens super quickly. And just didn't
lots of
if that's a legitimate thing that can happen, like Eddie, y'all need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, because you could have a lot of Venoms and Carnages running around.
Right.
Yeah, if it's that easy for them to.
The way that Venom kills him in the end is by eating him. So he gets created by being ingested and then also destroyed by being ingested. Confusing.
It's the circle of life. Yeah.
And then they tease this new, symbiote Venom thing, this toxin with, go to the very first picture.
One more thing I want to say about his figure. In the comics, like he was like half black and half red. Like there was a lot of black woven into it, right?
Okay.
And in this, it's just like red and gross and dark.
Right.
Okay.
So at some point, like when he kind of gets killed or whatever, but then his eyes glow blue. I don't remember the moment, but I guess somehow he gets symbioted. Maybe he bites Carnage and I just didn't see it. But afterward, I had to Google it because I was like, why did his eyes turn blue? What's his deal? And then I guess he turns into some like creature named Toxin.
Blue, blues. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Blue Carnage.
Blue Carnage. Blue Carnage.
Venom.
Blue Venom.
Oh. Yeah, it hurts. It really hurt. And then even the scene at the end, the teaser scene with
now that I didn't mind
with Spider-Man.
I dug the transition through the multiverse somehow. You know what I mean?
It would have been fine if that was at the end of Venom 1.
Right.
I feel like Venom 2 kind of ruined the franchise for me. For me, it's like,
yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work. Tonally, this movie and the first movie are just like very different from like Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home,
from also each other.
Right. So like Venom 2, the Spider-Man movies, like there's just a lot of distance between the tones of those movies. Also, Andy Serkis directed this, so that's interesting. I feel like he's more comedic, so maybe that's why. I mean, or he has a comedic sensibility. Call it that.
What else has he written / directed?
He did. He did like the other Jungle Book.
Is it? They were like, hey, this guy does a lot of motion capture. We should get him to just do the whole film since it's basically all CG anyway. Is that what the logic was? Because
I think so, honestly.
That's pretty much trash. I'm sorry, Hollywood. Y'all are really letting me down. I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done. Almost all of it. I'm not looking forward to much. I'm looking forward to Boba Fett, and I'm looking forward to the new Matrix. And that's it. I might be done with film after that. I might just go back and watch stuff from 1984.
I don't know. I'm excited about the Matrix. I'm excited about Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, because I think involving the previous Spider-Man franchises, I think will be an interesting, kind of deal there. And what else am I excited about? Definitely Boba Fett. Whenever the Mandalorian comes back, I'll be all in on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Spider-Man, obviously.
Right.
But
yeah,
I have not watched, can't even speak, the Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not in any hurry to. I don't know.
Right.
You watched it, right?
I watched it. I thought it was really good. I liked it. It feels different because so much of it is shot on location and not on green screen.
Oh, well, that's, nice. But I mean, as far as syncing with the Marvel universe, it's all just new stuff, right?
Yeah, Eternals is very much like an independent storyline.
Right.
You know how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the Netflix Marvel shows would just kind of reference things that happened? It'd be like, well, a green guy falling from the sky or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of that where it's so, who wants to be Iron Man? That kind of a thing. But
right.
Oh, and then Hawkeye's out now. I'm liking Hawkeye so far. Have you started it?
I started. We made it about halfway through episode 1.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen there, buddy. I don't think I can't even.
Wow.
I don't know.
Really?
I want to like the new Hawkeye. It's just, I don't know that I'm ready for the new Hawkeye.
Right.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they said there was going to be a Hawkeye show, that was going to be Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is Hawkeye, but it's also Kate
Hawkeye. Bishop. Yeah, Kate Bishop show.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against Kate Bishop. I'm just saying, I don't know how interested I am in this story. It doesn't. I don't know. I just don't care anymore. I guess that's what happened. I no longer care.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, I want to care.
Wasn't
the
musical, the Rogers the musical, wasn't that hilarious?
It was pretty funny, actually. It did. Yeah. It reminded me of high school a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I couldn't remember being in something like this or,
right.
Yeah.
Plus it's got Roger.
Go see some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you would have told me that why can't I think of his name? Adam No.
Pascal.
Pascal. Yeah. Adam Pascal. If you had told me Adam Pascal was going to be in the MCU, I would have been like, you're a liar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense.
And now he is.
Yep. And now he is.
As essentially Adam Pascal.
As Adam Pascal playing. Yeah.
He was like, he was
the
like,
random narrator.
Random narrator guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of fun.
Right.
And Captain Rogers. What happened to Captain America? You know? I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, the musical's called Rogers, which is like it's the most musical name. Yeah.
Lame name ever.
If that's not Broadway in a nutshell.
Actually, Captain Rogers sounds better than Rogers.
The only thing more Broadway was if they added an exclamation point. Roger.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Look,
that
add an exclamation
if it had the exclamation,
could be a musical.
Yeah, that's true.
Musical.
It would have been more authentic, I think, with the exclamation point. That's all they needed to do, really.
COVID exclamation point. The musical.
The musical. Oh, speaking of which, have you seen the new South Park?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
I haven't seen it yet, but
it's on my list.
It's on the list.
Yeah, we've been watching The Great season 2 on YouTube or on Hulu.
No Hulu.
No Hulu. It's about
Great
Russia.
Oh, that sounds really
Catherine the Great or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because we've been watching
very absurd.
We've been watching Survivor.
Nice.
We have the Paramount Plus. It's words. Paramount. I don't know if I'm speaking English. I might have to delete the entire podcast.
We've been watching that Ghosts CBS show.
Oh, yeah. We want to watch. Is it good?
It's fine. It's a CBS show. It's fine. It's a CBS comedy. It's not a multicam, so it's better than, Young Sheldon or whatever. Or I guess Young Sheldon isn't a multicam either, but you know what I mean.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's got some good people in it.
Oh, I'm watching Dexter. She can't watch it because I don't know, murdery stuff.
Murdery. Yeah.
Yeah. But you never got into Dexter originally?
Yeah, never got into Dexter.
Well,
originally.
it's a little dark, a little murdery. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think when I watched it, I was super depressed. And so watching it now, it's like, okay, I'm a different person,
Yeah.
But I can still respect this.
Right.
Hey. Yeah, we change. We grow up.
Exactly.
We become more.
I mean, on one hand, if they came out with a new 24 tomorrow, I'd watch it. But I wouldn't be like, I have to watch this Monday night when it comes out, which is how I was like season 4, season 5.
Whoa.
Season 5 was, man, the dude who played the president, that was great.
Yeah. Good times. The 24.
Yeah.
It was just edited so well. Like you're always on edge.
Definitely.
And I think that's what I like about Dexter is it always seems like he's about to get caught. And so you're just like,
what's it gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Of course it never does, but that's the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. And
trying to think if there's any more Venom thoughts that I had. We talked about Woody Harrelson not being a good villain. Yeah. I got nothing.
I was so disappointed in the film. Like I couldn't even I didn't even want Venom to be in the Marvel universe. I was like, oh, what a letdown. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like Carnage to me was something totally different. Like you said, he's supposed to be this. I'm just saying he's not supposed to be a guy that you're like rooting for. Like, oh, he just wants to get married, but instead he's a monster, you know?
Yeah. It's like they're leaning into the idea of like the only reason that Venom's a bad guy is because Eddie's just a fuck up.
Right. Not a like literal monster.
Right. I mean, in Spider-Man 3, Topher Grace's version of Eddie Brock was just kind of like a really selfish kind of dude.
Right. So there's obviously multiple interpretations of the character, but I just didn't buy any of it. I just don't know what's happened. It did feel like what I said earlier. It felt like the entire movie was CG. Like, hey, let's make this movie and a green screen. Like, there's a good way to do that. Like, Dark City is a good way to do that. All green screen.
Still need to watch that.
Still need to watch that. This film, like, it missed the mark. I feel like they were just like, we'll edit it in post. And like, it just, if you don't have something good to start with, you know,
right.
Like, yeah, that's why all of my songs suck. It's like, fix it in post. No, I need a good song.
More
to start.
Whooshes.
Yes.
More whoosh.
No, I need a good song to start with, you know. I'm talking about Born Yesterday. I'm going all the way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All those parts have to be there. We had some, you know, I thought we had decent songs, but I'm just saying.
Speaking of which, you know what I watched all week?
No idea.
This Beatles documentary.
Oh, you did it? You did the Beatles.
Did all 7.5 hours, 8 hours, whatever the total is. Dude. I mean, it's total inside baseball. If you for you, I would say watch it for just like watching them, how they construct a song is incredibly interesting. But there's also all of this like infighting and like getting on each other's nerves. Meanwhile, there's this director who's trying to make a movie out of this, and he wants it to have this big spectacular ending. And he's just like, the way he goes about it is super creepy. He's like, but what if we went to Libya? And can you imagine it? Sunset and 2,000 Arabs in the audience. And you're like, bro, you need to calm down. Ringo doesn't like to fly, okay? He doesn't like exotic foods. So sending Ringo to Libya, bad idea. George doesn't like people. So he automatically doesn't want to do it. And all four of them aren't getting along at all. Right. And they just finished an album that took forever. And they're like, can we just have a break? And then they literally take like a month and a half off. And then it's like, and we're going to do an album and a movie and all this other stuff. So they're just irritable and on drugs. They're also all on drugs.
And none of them practice Islam. So there's that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, there's no reason to go.
No, it was an interesting backdrop. And, you know, if you're a director,
they could have just put Lawrence of Arabia in the background.
Right. Shoot that, project that on the back.
Yeah, just put that on the back. That would have been a good use of green screen if they had it back then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So then they settle on the concert on the roof, which, you know, now is iconic. Yeah.
Legendary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did they play? Like 2 songs on the roof or something?
They played like 5.
Yeah.
And I think they ran through a couple of songs twice while on the roof just to get a good tape. And then like during their last run of a song, by that point, there's 2 cops or 4 cops up on the roof and make their way onto the roof. And you can totally see the change in like when they notice that the cops are there, they're like, this is going to be great on film. And they start like getting into it a little bit more. So it's a little like disingenuous there. Okay. Also because they hate each other or like they're just getting on each other's nerves. And then this dude, Billy Preston, shows up and he plays keyboards and he's just like, he just knows them from like their time playing in Germany because he was touring with Little Richard at the time. So he was just like, hey, I'm in London. George said y'all were recording. Let me stop by the studio. And he just starts jamming with them. And they're like, stay, please. Be on the album. We'll pay you whatever.
That's awesome.
Because the vibe completely changes once Billy Preston gets there. Because they're like, hey, somebody new. Cool. Let's have fun. Keep up appearances. It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why band members fight, but it seems like there's always something, you know. And collaborating is fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I think part of it also was the business of the Beatles. They had their manager who died 15 months earlier, and none of them dealt with that trauma. Like, they all should have been in therapy. And then 2, because there was this power vacuum and everybody was pretty much on drugs and, you know, bored all the time. Paul is like the type A person who's like, we need to have structure. We need to do this. We need to do that. And the other 3 are just like real, like, easygoing, like, yeah, whatever, we'll show up at 11, then sure. So there's just like weird power dynamics because you got one dude who's like, no, we need to be on a schedule. We need to do it this way. But at the same time, the natural dynamic of the four of them is that John was always the leader, but he's on heroin. So he's just kind of like, yeah. So when he's not in a heroin fog, he's like, yeah, let's, I'm in charge here. Let's do some stuff. But then, some days he comes in and he's just like, all I can do is make jokes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man, there's their producer, the guy who's like the audio engineer. There's one shot of him where he's like, him and like somebody are talking and they're like talking about like real serious stuff. And his pupils are completely dilated. And he's just like, yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, man, you're in charge of like the sound quality. You need to be with it.
No. I know many an audio engineer that is on whatever the artist is having type beats. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So would I recommend you watch all 7.5 hours? No. But there is like, especially like in some of the earlier stuff, like some of the earlier sessions, watching them just kind of like show up with like half an idea for a song and then like them working it out is pretty interesting.
That would be cool to see the actual creative process.
Right.
Do you know, like, I enjoy working with you. Like, you play some noodles and some things, and then I actually come up with an entire song. Like,
right.
There were times when you came over to the studio and played some noodles, and I made a whole song out of it, and I don't even know that I played it back for you.
Yeah, no, I don't like, I've heard that.
This happened. Like, I was like, oh, he didn't play bass, so I'll just like pitch this part down an octave and make a thing out of it. Like, like there were whole songs I made that just like exist in a vacuum somewhere. Like, but
on a hard drive, living
on a hard drive, somewhere.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't think of those things that you do, and that inspires me to do another thing.
Right.
So like, I think that's cool, and I'm so glad that hopefully we can still make some music over the internet. I hope at some point, because like I'm kind of getting tired of my type beats. Like I'm like, okay, I need to start going another direction.
Yeah,
I need to add some guitars back in here.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, although I do feel like I've gotten to the point where like they sound good now. So, or to me they do. I don't know.
Yeah,
but the last one to me sounded like okay. Decent. I don't know what I'm trying to say. That was a side tangent.
I love it.
Yeah, side tangent. I don't know what I'm talking about. What were we talking about? Oh, Venom. So don't go see Beatles. Yay. Beatles.
Well, if you're a Beatles fan, watch Get Back. If you're not a Beatles fan, watch the third one. Just the third one.
The third episode. Okay.
Yeah. And then if you're a nerd about music, watch the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I think collaboration, that was my point, collaboration inspires things that you would not have previously thought of,
Absolutely.
And we've obviously experienced that firsthand, even with the song at the beginning of this episode. Like I would have never thought to play those notes like that. I would not have come up with that. That's super awesome. So I don't know what else we're talking about.
We haven't Googled anything today.
We haven't Googled anything, which we should probably
might be a first. I feel like I want to keep that streak alive.
The not Googling or the Googling?
Two guys not Googling stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to change the song altogether.
Does that mean we're getting better at this?
I don't think so. I don't think that has any.
Look, this is our first international podcast here.
This is international.
Our first international podcast. So look, we kept it light. We obviously got real in the weeds on Dune.
How are we going to keep doing this?
You're going to actually get acclimated to that time.
Right.
The time zone you're in. And you won't be sleeping in the middle of the day.
Well, I knew this was happening though. Like I had time to prepare.
Yeah, let's
And
see.
instead, I
48
took a
hours ago,
nap.
you were on a plane for 15 hours.
Right.
So, don't beat yourself up, cuz.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So, thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody.
If you want to know what we really think of Dune, make sure you're subscribed.
Just be ready for that part
And
3.
eventually that will happen.
Yep.
Next week we'll talk about James Bond or Ghostbusters or some other terrible movie.
Yeah. Something that Jacob
show.
doesn't like. We're going to talk about it.
It's probably a better podcast when I don't like anything. Yeah.
Look, I like all things, so it kind of does work out for the dynamics.
Yeah. Sort of a
Except,
paradigm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, would I watch Venom 2 again? Of course. Of course I'm going to watch it again. Who knows how many times I'm going to watch it? Is it great? No. Am I going to watch it again? Of course. I like watching movies.
If this was on in the background, I might not change the channel.
Right.
Movie. Or I might. Like if it's the wrong scene and there's terrible CG or stupid jokes, I'll probably change the channel.
Right.
I don't know, man. It just didn't work for me.
Didn't work for you.
Speaking of stars and stars, IMDb ratings. What was it that got a really high rating recently? Ghostbusters.
Oh, Ghostbusters. That's great.
Yeah, it got like a pretty good audience score. So that's cool.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Can't wait to have that podcast.
That'll be fun.
Because I feel like there's more to talk about in Ghostbusters and more to talk about. And we may have a special guest. I know I keep saying we're going to have a special guest, but I know for a fact we might have a special guest for Ghostbusters. Audio only, maybe. We'll see.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Matrix is coming up. It's coming up quick, man.
It's coming up quick.
Coming up quick.
Yeah. I've got the subscription, HBO Max. That's on fire right now. That's on.
Gotcha.
I don't know what else to watch on there. I feel like I'm just burning through my subscription waiting for The Matrix.
Yeah.
They got me good. They got me. And I missed that 6 months for half price thing by one day.
You can watch that.
Okay. Oh, there's trailers that came out.
There's the Spider-Man trailer. That's all I can think of right now. You can watch Gossip Girl.
Oh, Peacemaker. I feel like Peacemaker's going to come out and no one's going to watch it.
I mean, I'm sure I'll check it out. I don't know if I'll be like, I still have to finish. Still have to finish Star Wars Visions.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I've lost faith in you guys, man. Like everything just kind of is meh to me, and I don't know if I've officially reached the age of get off my lawn, or if it's just everything sucks now. I don't know. I'm not.
I think there's a fair amount of get off my lawn.
Okay. It's not that everything sucks.
I think it's that everything maybe always sucked.
Oh, I see.
And we were just into it.
Okay. Well, that's fair. Also, you're frozen again.
Dang it.
So this is
all right.
Hilarious.
Let's just go ahead and call this what it is.
Okay.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Mostly a podcast.
Do us a favor. Like, subscribe, comment if you're on YouTube. And we'll do this again. Look out for Dune Part 3 coming at you 2022.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Good night, Jacob. Go to bed now.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to me. I'm going to start my day now.
All right.
A day that you have already participated in.